Welcome to Full Time to Freelance, where we share the untold stories of former 9-to-5ers who have traded so-called job security for reclaiming their time, their sanity, creative control, and moreover, loving what they do now. From automotive master technician to independent entrepreneur and business owner, Rob Osler's story represents the changing face of skilled trades in a post-pandemic world. Rob took the leap of faith during the bad times of 2020 to create something different. A business built not just on technical excellence, but on solid family values and exceptional customer service. This week I carried around a very large spanner and an oily rag and spoke to Rob to understand how he changed gears and created a thriving business that doesn't just fix cars, it fundamentally changes the fabric of the relationship between mechanics and customers. Rob's decision to redefine success might just inspire you to initiate your own journey to reach corporate escape velocity and do what you love.
My name's Rob, this is GOOO Auto Tech. I'm an independent Volkswagen Audi specialist and I've been doing it for 5 years. Been a mechanic since I can remember, since I left school basically. I started trained as a mechanic, so 16, I'm now nearly 43.
That's a lot of years.
It's a lot of years, yeah. COVID happened, it affected everybody. My particular job role, I was a master tech for Audi. All the master techs went on furlough and we were on furlough for a long time. I had a friend at the time, very good friend of mine, who ran his own business and was kind of showing me what he does because he was still running his business while I was on furlough. And that kind of got me a bit excited about, well, I wonder if I can do this myself. And I can.
From memory, I believe that there are not many master techs in the country at any one time. So how did you go from like leaving school at 16, becoming a mechanic, to then becoming a very prestigious, well sought after Audi master tech?
Starts off as a long journey, Audi apprenticeship, 3 years, and then working up through the ranks of being a mechanic. You don't instantly go and be a master tech. Being a master tech took a lot of courses, a lot of training, a lot of hands-on experience, and a lot of inspiration from other people to edge me that way. I could have just been a mechanic and run through being a normal service tech or a diagnostic tech, but I wanted to be the best that I could be in my field. Back in 2007, when R8 came out, I had a manager at the time who saw a lot of potential in me. He had quite a lot of leverage within Audi UK, and he managed to pull some strings, convince people that I personally didn't have to be a master tech to be able to work on the R8s. And he managed to get me on the course for the R8, so I went on this course for the R8s, all with well-established, older master techs, and then there was me, what was I in 2007, I haven't got a clue. A lot younger than I am now, but I became what was one of the youngest R8 mechanics in the country at the time. And then that led me on to the pathway of being a master tech. My particular role at the time when I went across to be a master tech was to run a team of 6 other mechanics. I was their lead. I would sort out their work for the day. If they had problems, it was then down to me to solve the problem. Or if a diagnostic job came in that needed diagnosing and fixing, it was me. I would be the liaison with Audi UK and generally be very customer focused and customer fronting and be the one that came out and talked to the customer and basically be the man who had the answers.
You are a man full of answers.
I try to have the answers.
Rob's career path spans nearly 3 decades, starting out as a mechanic at the age of 16, eventually achieving elite status as he worked his way up to become one of Audi's prestigious master technicians, becoming one of the youngest R8 mechanics in the UK in 2007. He used all of that to his advantage when he started up. Rob led a team of 6 mechanics who solved complex problems. He also served as the direct liaison with Audi UK and more importantly was also customer facing. These were all additional skills that he added when he started up his business. I then asked Rob why he left the security of his established career at Audi for the uncertainty of self-employment.
The main catalyst, believe it or not, was spending more time with my family.
Right.
During COVID and being on furlough, my wife's a nurse. She went to work full-time at the hospital because they needed more staff. I was the one at home with the kids, doing the schooling and looking after them. And the main catalyst was I did not want to go back to normality of 5.5 days a week, commuting. I wanted to be there for my family and earn money at the same time. And now I do have that balance. I take the kids to school, I pick the kids up from school, I take them to clubs in the evening, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was still at Aldi.
What I'm hearing is you didn't want to work and you wanted to spend time at home, is that right?
Well, when you have a certain amount of time off, you kind of don't want to go back to work. But when you work for yourself, I'm doing what I love doing. It is work, and I fix cars, and I have a bit bad days and I have good days, but I enjoy what I do. And I'm lucky that I've been able to have a skill that I can make my own business, and it helps my family, helps me, gives me more freedom, more financially better off, and I'm around. I was at Basingstoke Aldi from 2010 to 2018, say, from the top of my head. Absolutely happy, fine, well established, valued member of staff. Did everything I could for that dealership. My youngest came along in 2017 and we needed a bit of a different family dynamic. So an opportunity came up at another dealership where it was working 4 days a week. So I was working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, had Wednesday off, family time with children on Wednesday, loved it, perfect. And the money was better, slightly longer commute. Then the sad times happened with COVID, and we all went on furlough. Now, during the furlough, that particular dealership decided that they didn't want to run a 4-day week anymore. They wanted everyone in on a 5-day week. So as a catalyst for me, that was like, well, I kind of need a day off to spend with my children. Not spend with my children, look after my children, because they were young, my wife works, usual family things. In my head, I was already kind of like, oh, I'm not sure whether I want to go back to that. I don't know if I can. I've done 2 years of having a particular day off, and I just don't think it's gonna work. Plus, I just spent 3-4 months of great time with my kids. Like, I was homeschooling, but like my homeschooling was going to the woods and finding insects, and it was a weird time for everybody. We were doing everything that we could do within our restrictions, yeah. But we didn't wallow it away. We took the opportunity and made what was good out of a bad situation. But it really, really, really made me realise that there is more to life than just working. And now I've got a fantastic relationship with my kids. I do school drops and pickups on a Wednesday, school drops on a Thursday, swim clubs on a Monday and Tuesday evening, and I just wouldn't be able to get anywhere near those things if I was working full time.
Rob did not reject his values, far from it. He let his family first mindset steer his work decision as furlough revealed the importance of work-life balance. By design, Rob's new business model was built around his family so he could accommodate school drop-offs, kids' activities, while maintaining financial stability. What values are you not prepared to compromise on? List them out and hold true to them. I was curious how Rob built his business from the ground up without taking on significant financial risk.
To me, this wasn't solely about making a huge enterprise of a business. It was to be financially better off, which it works out, and have family time, and that works out, and I've got a good balance. So, financial perspective, I started off with a Monzo bank account. So I got a brand new bank account, Rio Autotech bank account, and I probably invested no more than £1,000 in it of my own money, because I already had my own tooling. For over years of being a mechanic, you have to supply your own tools. So I already had all my own sockets, ratchets, spanners, There's some other equipment that I've got now, which I never had before, but that's been reinvested money into the business over the years. After about 2 years, switched over to using was a credit card to pay for my parts purchases. My parts purchases are probably £7,000 or £8,000 a month.
Wow.
So what I've quickly realised, I could use a credit card and gain Tesco's points.
Sure. Yeah, get it to work for you.
Get it to work for me. So now everything goes on a Tesco's credit card, and I get this accumulation of points. So I get lots of Pizza Express.
It doesn't show, mate. There's nothing of you.
So I started putting in 1 day a week of my own work. So I started advertising. People I knew, people who already used me. I was doing their cars 1 day a week. 1 day a week turned into 1 day a week, 3 weeks worth of bookings. Great. Then that time gradually was getting bigger. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to put in 2 days a week. So I was doing 2 days a week, and that kind of got a bit bigger. And then I kind of did 3 days a week, and then that kind of got a bit bigger. And then I was thinking, well, this is actually turning into something fairly rapidly. I've got a transporter van. I converted my transporter van into a mobile workshop, started doing things a bit more freely as mobile. At that point, when I was working 3 days a week, I knew I could make it work, and I knew it would work, but I was still apprehensive to leave fully Audi.
Why?
Because it was comfortable. I was very institutionalized in the way of being employed. Being unemployed or self-employed was very unnatural for me. I just spent 20 plus years being employed. I worked to the 25th of every month, get my wage, like everybody does. And that's how I was. I was still very nervous. And I had a couple of wobbles building it up to it, and at one point I was like, I can't do it. I spoke to what now I see as a very, very terrible accountant who's scared the hell out of me, because he sort of said, you won't make any money, it's really hard, you'll be working all hours under the sun, And I was like, oh my God, that's not what I want. I'm doing this so I don't have to work all hours under the sun and to be with my family, And at this point, I rang my friend who does it, and he went, Rob, don't panic, I'll be around in 20 minutes. He came round in 20 minutes in his red convertible Porsche. He's a mechanic. And he sat outside my house, beeped his horn, and was like, he kind of shouted at me, what do you mean this won't work? And I was like, okay, you're in the same position as me, you've got children, and you've got a toy red convertible Porsche. And I was like, okay, I think this. And then he's kind of settled my nerves. And I think on that day we came up with Rio Autotech as well, because I didn't have a name at the time. I was just Mobile Vehicle Services or something like that. And that's when, I think it was that day that Rio Autotech, and Rio is Robert Ian Osler, so it's my name. Everyone kind of liked the name, and
Rob started his business with a minimal investment of about £1,000, utilising tools he already acquired over his career. Rob started small, with just 1 day per week while still being employed, and only then expanding as demand increased. He tested the way before fully committing. This was an excellent litmus test. Rob overcame doubt and pushed through discouragement after speaking with an accountant who predicted failure, the world's gonna end, which candidly you would never get from Crunch. Rob reached out to his network to glean support in the guise of another successful mechanic entrepreneur. He didn't just tell him it was gonna be okay, he showed him it was gonna be okay. Remember the red Porsche? At that point, Rio Autotech was founded. Nothing of substance is ever done by just one person. It takes a team, so choose your team carefully. Rob is an excellent mechanic. However, what unique services did Rob offer to set his business apart from other independent mechanics?
I'm a mechanic, but I don't want to be known just for being a mechanic. I want to be known to be one of the best mechanics in the area. Not only just for fixing cars, but for the service that I deliver. And part of that service is sending detailed videos to my customers so they know exactly what they're looking at. Or when I tell them there's a problem, I can show them exactly what it is, tell them where there's a faulty suspension part on a video. So you're not just getting, oh, you need this part, it's this much, you have to pay it. Well, I'm showing you what it is, I'm telling you what it'll cost, and I'll tell you why you need to replace it. So working for Audi, I was luckily enough to be one of the people involved in inventing what's called Audi Cam. And Audi Cam started off as this was back in early 2000s, so the technology has changed, but it was wearing a head-mounted camera, a waistcoat with battery packs and receivers and all sorts. The idea was that I would do a check over the vehicle with this head-mounted camera. The customer would sit in front of a computer wherever they were and see exactly what I'm seeing, and I would give full commentary as to what I'm doing, what I'm looking at. That's later evolved into, still called Audi Cam, but it's now using an iPod or with a camera, and you record videos, so similar to what I'm doing. However, when it's in a main dealer and someone doing it like a normal technician, I found that there's no life in it. I was shown one from one of my customers who went to an Audi dealership, and they were saying, oh, I've got this video, have a look through, and can you give me a price for one? And I was watching this video, it was 4 minutes long. I had no idea, it was out of focus, it was grainy, the sound was terrible. I had no idea what the guy was talking about, and it was just really quick kind of movements, and there was nothing on it which inspired me at all. So at that point I was like, right, I'm going to do these, and I'm going to make it so good that people are going to love it. And that's where I now do full videos. I take pictures of the front, of the side, and I'll do a full minute and a half footage of their vehicle on the ramps, showing problems or no problems, and just general, here's your car in the workshop, I am working on it. Transparency. I like to be transparent, honest, and that's what I kind of go with how I am. I'm not a mechanic that's just out to try and find work on a car. I'm here to make sure your cars are safe and roadworthy. If it needs work, it needs work. But I'll show you on these videos.
And that's part of the value, the intangible value that you give your clients as part of Rio Autotech.
Yeah. 3 things. Full-time to freelance. You have to want it. You can't just go into it half-heartedly. You have to work, and you have to work hard for it. Don't be deterred by bad days, because the bad days after a few years tend to not be a bad day, they just tend to be a lighter day. Right. And a lighter day means you can go and do something else. At the very beginning I'd panic because I was working to a budget, so I was like, I need to make this much, or I need to do this, I need to have this, and da. But now, 5 years in, I'm a bit more relaxed. I'm kind of like, okay, well, I finished work at 2 today. Cool, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to go and do something else, or in the summer, I'll go paddleboarding for the afternoon. So don't be deterred by bad days. And a third one, be something different. Do something different. A bit like the camera, doing something. I know tons of independent mechanics now. Get your car in, do what they need to do, done. With me, I'll get your car in, you'll get a video, you'll get a detailed invoice, you'll get a lot more value out of what I provide, but that's because that's what I would want. So see things from what you would want. I think that's kind of what I would recommend. I had a customer recently who got my invoice, and I have a fully broken down invoice. There's my labour, there's the parts, that's how much the part was, Everything's broken down, plus my video. And they said they've never had an expectation of what they wanted and had it delivered without asking, when it came to an independent mechanic, and that's what I pride myself on.
Rob decided to build something completely different: transparency through technology. He creates detailed video inspections to show his customers exactly what needs fixing and why. Rob also helped innovate by developing the AudiCam concept that we know of today, but he took that idea and refined it even further to create a very personalized experience for his clients. These are just a few ways in how Rob differentiates his service from everybody else. Then there were the takeaways, Rob's three-part success formula. Commit fully. Don't let bad days discourage you, and offer something that is completely unique. Rob provides detailed invoices, documentation, and videos that his customers clearly appreciate without having to be asked. And that's it. Join us again on Full Time to Freelance, where dreams become reality, one brave decision at a time. If you want to share your story of your moving from full-time to freelance or becoming a business owner, subscribe for more content like this, and also let me know in the comments and one of the team will reach out and get in touch. We'll be back again soon with more inspiring stories of transformation of those that have switched from full-time to freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.